April 15th brings one thought to the mind of many Americans. Tax day. All returns and extensions must be filed April 15th unless the government allows any extra time, like this year it's April 17th. Most people hate taxes, but unlike most people, I love them. Now I know what you're thinking. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Much more than I can possibly discuss here today. But the fact is, to me, taxes are like a game. The game begins with the government taking money from us every paycheck. Now, all I have to do is do all the work at tax time. They give me a set of rules, and if I get any money back, I win the game. Great game, right? It's much better than Monopoly or even the game of life, in my opinion. After doing all the work, you find out if you won or not, but the government has one more card to play. If they don't think you were accurate or that you played fairly, they can audit you. That kind of leads me into my presentation today at 7:25. Since I couldn't do any actual noise or anything, I'm going to give it to you. Bum, bum, bum. A 1040, we all know, I'm sure if we filed an individual return, we all know what a 1040 looks like. What we're going to discuss today is some commonly missed tax deductions and audit triggers. Work. There we go. Okay, some commonly missed tax deductions. I'm going to just go over a couple just real quick. It won't take long. But educator expenses. I don't know if anyone is a teacher in here or knows people that are teachers or professors. You can get a $250 tax deduction for any unreimbursed education expenses that you use to supply to children in your school or anything like that. Most teachers, I don't know if they know that, but it's really good. It's $250 and it's per individual, and it's pretty much an automatic tax deduction. I mean, if you do it, you're going to spend the money anyway, so you should definitely do it. The American Opportunity Tax Credit really applies to almost probably everyone in this room. That for 4 years of college, you should be able to get a tax credit of up to $2,500, depending on your AGI. Now, the best part about it, it's actually a refundable credit. That means if you take your tax down to zero, you can actually get money back. Refundable credits are the best you can get. Charitable contributions, the only can be taken if you itemize. I don't know how many people in here do itemized tax, but if you do, you should write off all your charitable contributions. You get 50% back. Now, if it's up to $500, well, $250 an individual or $500 if you're joint, the government's really not going to look at you too much. Start going over that, they're going to expect you to provide some type of appraisal on what you're donating. Most times you get the $250, $500, they're not going to worry about it. Student loan interest, another good one. If you do have student loans, which again maybe everybody in this room does, you should be you should be taking that tax deduction every year, and that's an above the line deduction, which means you get that right off your AGI right off the get. That's great. Lastly, state taxes paid. If you do pay state taxes, if you're owed for a year, make sure you take that next year. You do get that as money that you paid into the state. Some people might not think about it. They're like, oh, this last year doesn't count, but if you did, because you're going to pay it in the next year, so it's very, very important that you get that. Now, some audit triggers. These are some things that if the IRS sees, it might key them in to look at your tax return just a little bit more than someone else's. Not reporting income, especially if you receive a 1099. Technically, any money that you get as income should be reported. So if you win a scratch-off ticket for $1, you should report it. I wouldn't. I'm just kidding. But if you do receive a 1099 for any work that you do, you have to report that because the government knows you got it. It's pretty simple. Any large charitable contributions, this is a giant red flag. If one year you're donating $10, $20, $30, and then the next year you donate $10,000, the government is going to come knocking at your door telling you, we need some proof of what you did. Business owners, I don't know, again, some business owners might, writing off large meals and entertainment. Business owners can write off up to 50% of their meals and entertainment, but if it's huge, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and it's not comparable to the amount of money that you make in your business, they're going to look at that as like, are you really having meals and entertainment? Using your home as an office. This is a good one because a lot of people do work out of home or run some home businesses. This is a giant red flag because that area that you use in your home must be for your job if you're claiming that as your house deduction, or your office deduction at your home. So just really be careful. If you do that, that you can honestly say that space is definitely for your office business. And then rounding up a lot or even numbers. I mean, we all round up pennies, that's fine, dollars, but some people say, well, $5, $10, $25, all your numbers are perfectly even, zeros, fives. That's going to just add some red flags if you're really not getting that. So now it leads me into just some work today. Something. Oh, I'm sorry, that's what I don't have. Fun facts. Just a few fun facts that I thought, I swear to God, there we go. Fun facts. A lot of fun facts. If you are kind of loose and fast with your taxes, you're likely 5 times more likely to get an audit. I mean, if you're just all over the place, charitable contributions, writing off meals and entertainment, anything, you're going to get audited. The average person has about a 1 in 200 chance of getting audited. That's most of us. We're not going to get audited, but about 1 in 200, which is actually down from 1 in 112 in '99, which is good. I mean, not many people are getting audited anymore, or less. If you make more than $100,000, you are likely to get audited 1 in 100. And that's just because you make more money than the government wants to know because they want more money. Now, the employment for the IRS has dropped about 30,000 employees in the last 10 years, which makes sense because it's more automated, everything's online. That means there's less people to do audits. So the likelihood of us getting audited is less. Now, this is the big one. You have 3 years of statute of limitations on a tax return. If you do a tax return perfect, you think everything's great, and no one finds any mistakes with you, you're good 3 years later. But if you fail to report 25% of income, they have 6 years to come back and talk to you. If you just seriously are defrauding them, or you don't file, they can come back to you at any time. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But then now it's serious defrauding. You have to really do something that you're not trying to do. And that's it. Thank you very much.